Hello, I'm Claire Jewitt, and this is the Diary of an Orange Cat. The diary of a thoughtful, slightly neurotic ginger cat named Weasley, written from a small harbour community in New Zealand. In this first episode, Weasley explains how he came to live with me and why he decided to start keeping a diary. And now, Weasley's diary. As I sit here, with my paws resting on a blank white page, I can't help thinking how far I've come. I may look like your average domestic cat, but there's more going on between these fluffy orange ears than most humans would realise. Not many people know this, but I wasn't always known as Weasley. I used to answer to the name of Max. And though I may look like a happy and carefree cat on the outside, on the inside, I struggle with my own inner demons and a deep-seated sense of guilt. To help me cope with this, I've decided to keep a diary. So, here I am, starting my journey of self-discovery and reflection, recording my thoughts and describing events that have happened during my life. Events that all began when I was just a kitten. After leaving my mother as a kitten, I was taken in by a family who loved and cared for me, but there was a problem. Or perhaps it would be more truthful to say that I was the problem. I'd only been with the family for a month when their boy became ill. He didn't even have to touch me. Just being in the same room as me made his eyes water. Then he'd start sneezing, and once he even broke out in a nasty rash. I felt terrible. My flea treatments and vaccinations were all up to date, and I took great care to clean myself the way Mother had taught me. But it was no good. They were going to have to rehome Max. My photograph was posted on the Diamond Harbour Facebook page, and within hours I had a new home. A middle-aged woman who lived on her own was wanting to get another cat because her old cat had recently died. This didn't sound good at all. What did the cat die of, I wonder? Boredom, probably. The first few weeks with my new owner went really well. She changed my name to Weasley and introduced me to a neighbouring ginger cat called Ginger, who took me under his wing and became something of a mentor. My predecessor, Wanda, had been a small but feisty grey tabby who lived to the ripe old age of 18 and had even travelled overseas with the family. I sensed that Ginger and Wanda may have had some history, so I didn't press him for information, but he did mention, with a peculiar glint in his eye, that Wanda had once gone missing for 9 days. Apparently, my new owner had given up hope of finding her and had even disposed of her bowl. When Wanda finally arrived home, she was virtually unrecognisable. Imagine that. Horrified, I made a mental note to stay close to my home and owner at all times. Ginger went on to say that there were many advantages to having a single middle-aged woman as an owner. He related tales of such indulgence and affection that I'm sure he must have exaggerated slightly, probably just to make me feel less anxious. When I was very small, Mother told me that the first 6 days in a new home were crucial, like a sort of trial period. Since my last placement had ended badly, I was keen to make a good impression. I diligently followed Mother's strict instructions about toileting and personal hygiene, remembering always to lick my paws to get right behind my ears and to adopt the perfect cello pose. The cello is widely accepted amongst cats as the optimal position to clean one's nether regions. My 6-day trial period passed without incident. I was just beginning to relax into my new surroundings when I did something so terrible that it haunts me even to this day. I take full responsibility for the catastrophe that happened. It happened one morning when I was in the kitchen waiting for my breakfast. My owner, who I now referred to as Mummy, was rushing to get ready for work, and somehow I managed to get under her feet. She tripped over me and fell to the floor. I came out unscathed, but Mummy had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance. I was absolutely beside myself. Her daughter came over and looked after me, but this time my anxiety levels had gone right through the roof, and I started to have I started to have a few accidents on the carpet. Mummy spent over a month in hospital, and it was there that doctors diagnosed her with something called multiple sclerosis. Do cats get that? Had I given it to her? Was it something humans got after tripping over cats? Maybe the poor boy at my previous home was now in hospital too. All because of Max. I felt so ashamed. What would Mother say if she found out that I was not just a complete failure as a pet, but a serious health risk? Ginger told me not to worry. He said my owner had been walking funny for ages, so he didn't think it had anything to do with me tripping her up. And he also said that lots of people sneeze when they're around cats, and that I shouldn't take full responsibility for what happened to the boy at my previous home either. I'm sure he was probably just being kind, but when he mentioned a few months later that he'd heard I would be moving away, all my anxieties came rushing back. Was I being dispatched and disgraced to wreak havoc on another poor unsuspecting family? For a while I even considered running away to join the homeless cats, a disparate bunch who'd banded together to form the feral feline underbelly of Diamond Harbour. Those cats lived on their wits and vermin. No soft beds or bowls of fresh steak and kidney cat food for those hardened outcasts. 2 weeks later, I realised to my immense relief that it wasn't just me who was moving away. Mummy was coming with me. Apparently the house we were living in had too many hilly slopes and hazards now that she had MS. So we were moving to a lovely sunny place in a different part of the village. I was gutted about leaving Ginger, and it was too far for me to walk to visit him. Certainly not worth the risk of getting lost and arriving home 9 days later, thin, weak, and with no bowl. I was just going to have to strike out and make new friends. That was the first entry from The Diary of an Orange Cat. Next time, Weasley discovers something called the Man Cave.